Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Rowberry, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to pick back up where we left off and we're going to continue on with this fun little sniff session that we are doing together where we are going through the entire brand new, now it is officially launched, 2021 fall and winter catalog. We are sniffing through by each individual category. I absolutely love doing this each and every season. It gives me a chance to revisit some old favorites and maybe even find some new ones that were totally under my radar, because we know each season there's at least one of those that happens for me. So let me know if you're in the same boat with me. Like, you smell, I mean, sun-kissed citrus, that's been around for a million years. And this season it just totally like blew me away. But like every season there's always one that I like re-sniff and I'm like, really, maybe I should give this one another try, you know? So that's why I really enjoy doing this. Plus, if maybe you're newer to Scentsy, maybe you want to know a little bit more than just the new releases. You want to know more in depth about each individual scent category. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're actually going to be sniffing through the Woods collection of scents, and I will say this one's not necessarily my favorite, but there are some really good ones in here, especially if you like those more earthy, woodsy kind of scents for sure. So let's go ahead and get started. This one, I will say, this first one, I've got a little bit of a bone to pick. This is just me personally though. If you love this scent, I am so happy that it came back for you. For me, I'm throwing a little bit of a pity party. So Around the Campfire. Now, the only reason why I'm having a pity party on this one is because, well, there's a few really amazing scents that didn't come back. Honey pear cider, candy cranberry pecan. There's a lot of like really good ones that didn't wind up coming back. And I'm like, how did this one come back? No, I know that there are a lot of people who do really like this. That's why it came back. It smells smoky. This does smell like, I guess it smells like a campfire. I'm not one that's super into camping, so I don't know. We do fire pits in the backyard and my fire pits don't smell like this. I will tell you that much. But maybe, I mean, I've heard from last fall and winter season, when this one was a new release, people were like, yes, this totally smells like a good solid campfire. I guess I wouldn't know. I don't know. There is a sweetness to this, so you don't like smell this and it's like smoke. There is a smoky element to this, but there is a sweetness and definitely a woodsy, earthy kind of feel to this. So, I mean, I guess I can see the appeal. It's just not my cup of tea. This is very smoky though, so. Honey pear cider. So Around the Campfire is described as make some memories in the mountain air, as notes of fresh fallen wood and smoky embers help set the scene. I would totally agree with that. So I will say, even though this isn't my cup of tea, like I would think when I first saw the name of this scent that it would just be straight smoke. I'm like, whenever we have a campfire, see, listen to me. Whenever we have a fire pit in the backyard, like we come in and we immediately take a shower because you can just smell the smoke like in your hair. That's not what this is. There is a sweet element, like can wood be sweet? I guess wood can be sweet. There is like a sweet woodsy note to this. So it's not just smoke, but you do get a smoky element to this, definitely. Okay, moving right along. We've got the second one is Be Merry. And this one I am glad it does come back each fall and winter season. Now, this was actually a scent of the month, and I loved it when it was a scent of the month, and I was so happy to see that it was added to the catalog. I think, was it just last year? But, oh, I love it. This is so good. I mean, I might kind of sort of understand why it's considered a woodsy scent, only because this to me smells like sweet tart cranberries or berries and a Christmas tree. Like there is that Christmas tree note, but it's more like sweet berries. It's so good. So that like tree note is just giving it an earthy element. Maybe the woodsy category in Lisa terms is earthy. That's what I'm gonna say. So Scentsy says Be Merry is described as joy abounds in pine boughs dotted with holly leaf and cassis. So this one's really, really good. I love it. It screams holidays for me, totally. Okay, next one is a new release, Blue Sage and Tonka. So this one we did already talk about in the new release sniff session, but this is nice. I'm happy. I'm happy for those who really like this. I am excited to give this one a try. I think I'm gonna wait until we're a little bit further into the fall season, closer to winter, more like late October, early November kind of, because it smells like holidays, but there's something to this. What's in this? I think it's the black lavender that I really like it. There is that floral element to this, but I do see how this would be woodsy or earthy. So Scentsy describes Blue Sage and Tonka as revel in the richness of midnight sage and black lavender over sultry sweetness of tonka bean. This one's definitely interesting to me, and I'm really looking forward to, the more and more I keep sniffing it, the more I'm like, okay, I think I can totally get down with this. There's something about this. There is a sweetness to it that I think is coming from that black lavender. I'm not sure. There's also something that like is kind of cologne-y, but not quite. Earthy, but not in a bad way. It's good. I do really like this. Okay, and I am still gonna pick like my top 3 favorites from this collection. Next one is Cashmere and Corduroy. This, I disagree. I don't think this is earthy. I don't think this is woodsy. To me, this, it's fancy. There is no Scentsy category for fancy, but I just, like for me, this is the same category as like cozy cardigan. It's pretty. I don't know, maybe I would call it, no, it's not quite floral, but I wouldn't call it woodsy. Like if someone says, set me up with your best woodsy, earthy fragrance, it wouldn't be this one. I love this. It's so pretty. Definitely a beautiful bedroom scent. So there's that. I just feel like if you like cozy cardigan, you're gonna like this. It doesn't smell like cozy cardigan, but it's along the same line, if that makes sense. So Scentsy describes this Cashmere and Corduroy as wrap yourself up in the coziness of creamy vanilla, Sicilian bergamot, and cashmere sandalwood. Okay. I think it's really nice. So it's gotta be that cashmere sandalwood. Sicilian bergamot. I don't know. I don't smell wood from this. I smell fancy. Okay, next one most definitely deserves a spot in the woods category, and that is Cedar Cider. And one of my really good friends, this is like one of her go-tos like year round. She's just like sets up a club just specifically for this fragrance. She's like, I need my house to smell like this around the clock. Like no matter what time of year it is, no matter what time of day, this is what I want my house to smell like. And I can kind of get that. So this is definitely woodsy. Like you smell that cedar for sure. But then you also get that cider. You do get that like apple cider kind of note. So you have the woodsy and you have the apple cider that just kind of like pops through. It's a really beautiful balance. Now, I will say, let me go ahead and read the description in this. I don't agree with the entire description, but let me just go ahead. Cedar cider is described as an autumn medley of the reddest apples, yes. Cinnamon sticks, no. I don't smell any cinnamon in this. Even when it's warming, I smell no cinnamon. So cinnamon sticks and vanilla beans nestled among fragrant white cedar branches. For me personally, it's just the apples and cedar. That's it. Like it's just apples and cedar. And it's like fresh cedar. It smells like very legit cedar branches for sure. But so if you get turned off by vanilla scents, you're like, ooh, no, I don't do any kind of vanilla, not floral, not bakery, no kind of vanilla. There's no vanilla in this. There's no vanilla in this. It's undetectable. That and the cinnamon, it's apples and cedar. That's it. So definitely deserves a spot in the woods category for sure. Cedar cider. Next one is iced pine. Of course, deserves a spot in the woods category. So this one, it just smells like pine. It just smells like a pine tree. So if you love just a straight tree scent, iced pine, that's that's what you have here. This is described, and there's another tree scent that we're going to talk about in this category, and then I'm going to sniff them side by side and tell you the differences, because over the years as a consultant, this is probably one of the most common questions during the fall and winter season is what's the difference between these two scents. So I'm going to break it down for you. So iced pine is what we're talking about first. Is described as as refreshing as a walk through newly fallen snow, green fir and pine kissed by icy peppermint. Now this is not peppermint like toothpaste. It's not that kind of peppermint. So it may, like what I've talked about in previous videos, is it may add a coolness to it, but it's not like, I don't smell this and think, oh yeah, tree toothpaste. No, that's not what this smells like. It's just, it smells like a tree, and the peppermint may just add like a cooling to it, but it's not tree toothpaste. Okay, next one is My Hero, and this one, it smells, I don't love it. That's just me. It does smell like a man's cologne, but there is a note in this that I don't love. I'm so bad at breaking down cologne type scents, so let me just go ahead with the description. My Hero is described as cool citrus and white birch, ride a current of crisp air. Now, and this is why I don't know what it is that my sniffer doesn't like, because I love citrus, I like birch, and I like crisp air. So I don't know why the three combined gives me some kind of an off note. I don't know if it's the cool citrus and the white birch. I don't know. It seems like that would be a great combination, but there's something that's almost bitter to me about this. But that's just me. It's just me. It is a cologne-y type scent, very masculine, woodsy. So that is My Hero. Next one that's more masculine cologne-y type is Mystery Man, and this hands down is going to be my favorite of the two. This is wonderful. There is no off note to me. This just smells like a sexy man. This smells really, really good. And this one is described as Mystery Man, which is a bestseller, not surprised there, is described as warm white cedar. So white birch, white cedar. So maybe it's the cedar that like gives it a little bit more sweetness, I guess. I don't know. Warm white cedar, green verbena, and citrusy bergamot in a perfectly spiced, sensual fragrance. This isn't spicy. It says spiced. It's not spicy. This is not a spicy man. This is just, it's just a clean man. That's what this smells like to me. So I like Mystery Man. For me, My Hero, there's just, like I said, there's a little bit, yeah, there's just a little bit of a bitter, note there on the back end, but Mystery Man is perfect all the way through. Love that. I would like Sean to smell like this for sure. Okay, next one is Red Berry and Spruce. And this one I love, and I know I love this because this was actually a part of the holiday collection last year, and it's so nice. Now this is very similar to Be Merry. I feel like if you like Be Merry, you're gonna like this one. That was Be Merry. I just want to smell them side by side. Yeah, see, Red Berries and Spruce is a little sweeter. More of the berries, I think, come through rather than the spruce that's there. So Scentsy describes Red Berry and Spruce as a merry mix of cranberry and raspberry swirled with a sprig of blue spruce. So you do have that like spruce element that's coming in, giving you that freshness, giving you that earthy note to it, but it's also mixed with the cranberry and raspberry. I feel like the cranberry and raspberry is such a beautiful kind of mix because you have the super sweet with, you've got tart. It's a wonderful balance, and I really, really like this. I was so happy to see that this one was added to the catalog. So Red Berry and Spruce. All right, next we are going to compare the tree scents. So Very Snowy Spruce. This is what I always get asked about. What's the difference between iced pine and Very Snowy Spruce? What am I going to like better? And here's the thing. Very Snowy Spruce. No, I love this one, but I can totally see why people will like one over the other, or like both if you just want all the tree scents all the time. This is more of a sweet. This is more of a sweet tree scent. Iced pine to me is just pine and adds that little bit of coolness, but Very Snowy Spruce is just sweet tree. And not sweet like fruity. It's just a sweet tree scent. I love it. And it's a bestseller. So Scentsy says about Very Snowy Spruce, breathe in fresh forest air, balsam spruce, and cedar branches. Embrace the warmth of amber and woody pine cones. Sorry if you see me looking outside. There's stuff going on out here. So I'm just like trying to not be distracted by that. But no, so good. So good. I love it. It's just a touch sweeter than the iced pine. So that's why I like to go for this one. But like I said, I can see why both stay around, and I can see why people will prefer one over the other for, you know, particular reasons. Okay, last but not least, another one that I'm like, really? You take away my honey bear cider, but this comes back? Weathered leather. And this is not to knock anybody who loves this one. I've got a dear friend of mine that this is her go-to. She's just like, just give me all the weathered leather. In fact, her daughter gives her a really hard time. She's like, it just smells like a leather shop in here. And that's what it smells like. This to me, and there are very differing opinions on this scent. Sean and I have very differing opinions on this scent. I like this. I do think this smells like genuine leather. I feel like this triggers a scent memory for me, and I'm sorry if you've been hanging around with me for a while, you will have already heard this maybe 100 times already, but this for me, my first job was working at the Men's Warehouse, and I remember like going in the back to the shoe room and grabbing shoes, and that's what that would remind me of. Or when we would get shipments of belts, like you would take that out and it would just smell like leather. Like that's what it would remind me of. And it's good memories, you know? So I really like this scent. I really like it for my car, but that got X-nayed because Sean was like, no, this just smells, it just smells like plastic. He's like, it just smells like plastic. It doesn't smell like leather. This smells like plastic. I beg to differ. I think it definitely smells like leather. I'd rather have my honey pear cider, but I can see why this is definitely a different type of scent. Like there's not a lot of places you can get a wax melt that smells like leather. So if that's your thing, weathered leather is for you. So Scentsy describes this as weathered leather is step into an old-fashioned saddle shop brimming with dark suede, tooled leather, and vintage saddles over a backdrop of oak. So I guess I can see this would be my earthy category, not necessarily woodsy. I don't really smell the oak that's in this. I just smell leather. So okay, what's gonna be my favorites? This was easy. One. Okay, so my 3 favorites are gonna be Very Snowy Spruce, because you have to have a tree scent for the holidays, right? Very Snowy Spruce, Red Berry and Spruce, and Cedar Cider. I actually really like this Cedar Cider, and this is one that's a little bit out of my element. I mean, I love apple scents, but usually woodsy scents are just, I don't know, they just don't excite me, but this is done really well, I feel like. I love it. So those would be my 3 top picks for the woods category. So let me know your favorites. Are you giving anything a try for the first time? Highly recommend. Step out of your comfort zone, try something new. That's also another really good tip I have for you too. Lately, it seems like I've gotten quite a few emails of people talking about going nose blind really quickly. If you are warming the same types of scents over and over again, you're going to go nose blind very quickly. So step out of your comfort zone. Grab a cedar cider if that's not your usual thing. Grab weathered leather. That's gonna clear out the sniffer real quick. So no, step out of your comfort zone. Warm some different scents from time to time. That way, when you go back to your favorites, you can really fully enjoy it and you don't go nose blind as quickly. So there's my little tip for you for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new, please subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all things Scentsy. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.